Alright, to remove the pulley, you basically have to push it in and kind of get it up over its post and then push it out. So that way you can take the belt and feed it out backwards. Once you have your belt in your hand, the little roller right here is free to come out. You might have to push in the little post on the side, get some tweezers, and kind of push up on it, and then you can just pry that little wheel out of there. And then once you have the little wheel out, then you can remove the belt and put a new one on. Alright, so to put a new one on, you basically have the brand new belt in your hand, put it into inside the wheeler, and you just click in the wheel itself. So that way it grabs a hold of it. Make sure the teeth face towards the inside here. So that way when it's spinning around, it's in the machine, that way the teeth are in the correct position. They should be towards the inside. Okay, so now we're going to reassemble. To reassemble this, you have to feed the belt through. A little opening over here on the side. Once you have it up to its opening, the leading edge up here has a little indentation that it goes into, and I'll pull that back so that way it goes in. I'll grab that spring and I make sure to put it inside where it's supposed to go. It'll go, there's a metal bracket, or I'm sorry, a metal tab that sticks through that basically counterbalances it. So you have to make sure that it goes towards the inside of the machine. I'm sorry, towards the towards this little bracket here. It'll fit between the metal post that's sticking out and the end of this cap. So basically I just wedge the spring in. Sometimes I might have to use my tweezers. And then once I have that spring in, now I know it's locked into position. You might have to wiggle it around a couple times to make sure it goes over its brackets well. But it'll be nice and spring loaded there, just like so. Alright. I'll stretch the belt across, make sure it's a decent length. And then I'm going to pull this back so that way I can put my head carriage back on. The head carriage, the belt should be attached to the bottom edge of the belt, not the top. Okay, the top rides basically like this. So I'll pull this around since this one was already on here before. I'm just going to use the indentions that it has. If it doesn't have indentions, just make sure you put it on the bottom edge of the belt. Alright, so I'll feed this in to that little groove, just snake it through there. Like so. I'll use my fingernail or my tweezers to poke it into the place. So that basically goes right on through there. That way it holds it in. Okay. Then we'll pull this all into position. Make sure that it's on there, it's not twisted or anything. And then I can pull the belt back so that way I can slide it over the lower bar down here. And make sure it's not twisted. So as I'm sliding this back on this post, I kind of stop midway so that way I can put the little oiling pad back in here. I will basically take some tweezers, hold it sideways like this, and then fit it back up into that little slot there. Right above the bar. It's a little tedious, but it does go back in. So then once I got everything in line, it'll just slide slide right back on. Okay. Slide it over. Grab the belt behind it. Pull all that slack out of there. Not caught on anything, and make sure these bars don't fall out of place, and make sure that they don't fall out from over on the right hand side. So then once I've got the belt not twisted, I can hit the spring load over here on the side and loop it back on top of the belt, making sure that it kind of fits right up against the lip that's on that belt. Alright, now I've got that back into position. Got on my back rail as well. Alright, so we're almost there.